All right, everybody, I am here. I apologize. I was on a phone call that put me past my start time, but it just finished, so I am here. I'm going to play some Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze. This is really cool. I actually got a chance to play this with the designer who is local to my store, and so I saw that about a year ago, and I've been very excited for it to come out, and it's come out, and it's probably one of my favorite cooperative, no, it is one of my favorite cooperative games of this year. So I wanted to show it off in solo. It'll probably be a relatively short stream. I actually have to leave to pick up my daughter, but I wanted to show it off, and I thought, hey, a Friday lunchtime is a good time to do that. Ended up a little bit later than that, but here we go. So if you are here, thanks so much for joining. If you're watching afterward, if you have any questions or comments or things, just let me know. I do still have a little bit of glare, but it shouldn't be a big deal for this one, I don't think, like it is for some of the others. But here is the board. And yeah, if you want to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I actually saw that recently the number of subscriptions has gone up on the channel, so that's really awesome. So thanks everybody for subscribing recently. We'll try to have some more gameplays. This is actually my Milano Lego that's sticking out right here, so you can see the wing of the Milano. It's on this table. Everything's kind of asunder for Christmas, so I've got wrapping stuff over here, and this room's being worked on, so my Lego had to come down off the shelf. So it's sitting right here, so that's what that is, in case you're wondering it's not part of the game. All right, we are going to fight this a little different. So the box comes with 4 heroes. Actually, I've got to show you here. There is Annie Christmas, Golden Bat, Nikola Tesla, and Dr. Jill Trent come in the box, as well as Mothman is one of the villains, and also the Martian invaders. So that's the one we're going to fight here. So this is considered the harder one or the second one. So I figured I'd do that. As well as what's so cool about this is you can use any set to play. So I went and grabbed my Jurassic Park set here, and we're going to play with the Raptors. So they are 3 to see. So I figured they were kind of a little bit different, having the 3 here. So we're going to play with the 3 Raptors and see, does it really work like they say? And we'll play one of the other missions just in case. I imagine a lot of people have done videos and probably done the Mothman, so I figured let me do the other one so people can see more. That's kind of always my thing is, I'm not necessarily the first one, but let me show you other things. As always, I don't have the best camera. I'm pretty good at explaining games, so I can walk you through that, but if you have any questions, you can let me know, or if you're watching afterward, you can put it in the comments, and I can try to help you out. Hopefully there's enough visual here. Like I said, I know there's a little bit of glare on the screen. So, setup, we're going to take these initiative cards. So we have the Martian Invader card, as well as we're playing single player, so we put Martian Invasion 1. For each player, if you have 4 players, you put 4 waves in. We're also going to fight the Loveland Frog. So the Loveland Frog has a card plus 3 other cards that get shuffled in. Actually, you know what? I'm going to double check that. I haven't played with the Loveland Frog since I played it that first time. I want to make sure up to 4 times around. Is it per player before I jump in and do that? Sorry, I should have checked that before and I just realized. I just don't want to make a mistake here. Added during play. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I think that these come in later. Otherwise, it was going to be rough. Cool. So we are going to get rid of these strikes again. These are going to come over here, set aside. So we just put these in. And then we have the player 1. I am player 1 denoted here. It works a lot better when you have multiple players to do that. If people can let me know that you can... Oh, there's my audio. I can see it now, so we should be good. And I'm up here in the corner again. I've got that camera going, so... Honestly, I probably should have put it over the other one there. All right, so this is going to be our initiative deck. Each round, we'll flip the cards until they're all flipped. We'll do the top ability on them, and then we'll go through and do the bottom ability once we've done all the turns. If you haven't played Unmatched, it's really quite simple. On your turn, you get one of 2 actions. Here. You just played Discount Batman? What? On your turn, you can take 2 actions. You can maneuver, which is you draw a card, and then you move your movement value. In this case, it's 3. You can play a card that has the lightning bolt. They're also yellow cards. Or you can attack by playing a red or purple card. Red cards are attack, purple cards are either, and blue cards are defensive. So it's that simple. You can't have more than 7 cards in your hand. The Raptors have a special ability. They have 3 movement. They each have 7 health, which is tracked over here. The Martian has 10 health. It's 10 health per player. And the Loveland Frog has 10 health. It's just a flat 10, but you add more enemies with more players. The Raptors have a special ability that says add 1 to the attack value of their cards for each of your other Raptors adjacent to the defender. So we want to team up on them is the idea. The way the Martian works here is they're trying to increase threat. They're going to put these invaders in the fields like this. The more fields that have them, the more this threat will increase. Every time it gets to the end of the track, it stops, but then one of these tokens flips and it will increase. It'll give a possible additional buff to the cards from the invader deck. If they flip all 4, we lose the game. So that is that. They have 10 health. If we take out the Martian, we win. If they take out all 3 of our Raptors, we lose. It's pretty straightforward like that. I believe that's all the setup. We don't start with any of these in play. And then the Martian invader starts on the 5 space in the center. There's a 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the other heroes or characters, if you will. And then the Loveland Frog starts adjacent to them in their region. So I put that Loveland Frog here. I then, because I'm the Raptors, I put 1 on the starting hex, which is up here. It's not a hex, it's a circle, space. And then I can put the others in that same zone. So I moved them down here so we could try to do a pincher assault on that Loveland Frog if possible. You can see and hear me. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Spartan. All right. So away we go. I might be able to zoom in just a little bit. Cut the top of the board off. All right. 5 cards is what we start with. There's no mulligans. So we got some big attacks here, including Eviscerate. So let's see what happens. There's our 5 cards. We're going to flip the first initiative card, and it is the Loveland Frog. So the Loveland Frog takes a turn. So on its card here, there is the white, which is what they do currently, and the darker black down here, which is what they do at the end of the round. So we don't worry about those for now. All right, so the Loveland Frog is going to take a turn. It has 3 move that it tells me here. So what it wants to do is get adjacent to the closest character it can, which is either here or here. Do we care? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe. We can probably surround that one. So let's go there, because otherwise it would come here. 1, 2, 3. Where would this one go? Yeah. All right, we'll keep it there because we can try to surround it. And then it's going to attack. So it's going to take one of its cards, puts it face down, and I can choose to defend. So sure. Perfect. So we'll use this one here, which is Decoy. So I have 3 defense. We then flip their card. It is a 2 attack, Emerge from the Swamp. So the 2 attack is going to deal 3. This is immediately choose one of your undefeated Raptors. You may place her adjacent to the opposing fighter. Fighter, that's the term they use. This one can move 3. So we're going to put this one here and start to surround. This one's going to then deal 2 damage. I block 3, so no damage is done. And by the way, the molds and the shapes on here tell me which one is which. This one kind of has the raptor bouncing on its tail, so I know which one is which of these. And then after combat, place the Loveland Frog in the closest empty starting space, then deal 1 damage to each adjacent opposing fighter. Oh no! Alright, so this is the closest. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. So it's going to go over here. So that's not going to be good. That's not going to get us our plan. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Maybe we could just surround this one here. All right, that gets discarded. This gets discarded. We'll put my card on this side. Perfect. Next up is the Martian Invader, who will move 2 to this one, not terrible, and attack this raptor right here. So we do have this 4. What does this do? If you won the combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter. Sure. So we'll play this one, and the Martian Invader is going to play this card, which is a 2. Now, it has this during combat, but that's if that symbol's in play. It has an after combat. Mine is also after combat. So 2 against 4 is no damage to me. After combat, if you won the combat, so I didn't take damage as a defender, so I win. So I deal a damage. He's down to 9. These raptors can pump out damage, so this will be interesting to see. All right, and then this one says deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter in the Martian Invader's zone. So the Invader is in green, so all we have to do is look for spaces, and actually none of these have the light green, so nothing takes damage. Even though that's adjacent, it is not the same zone. So if you haven't seen that before on the board, this dark green space is all of these zones. Some of them are in thirds or halves, and that's line of sight, essentially. So if I was here, I can attack here with range. If I was here, I can attack to here with range. So it's really easy to see. It's not super visually appealing. It can be a little weird. It looks kind of splotchy, but it works extremely well, and they did a good job with the board not making it just the circles, but the other terrain in between. All right, next up is me, player 1. So we get 2 actions. So we can maneuver, which would work pretty well because we could surround that one. And see where we go from there. Or we could just attack twice and see if we take him down, huh? Let's go ahead and maneuver. So we draw a card, and then we can move all of our fighters 3 spaces. So we'll move here, here, and here. In fact, let's not even give them an out. So let's go here. So we'll move into those spaces. Then we have this feint card, and then should we eviscerate or should we try this one? Let's do this. Ambush for 2, 3, 4, because we have 2 adjacent fighters. He will defend with a card. So it's 4. He has an after combat. Your opponent discards 1 random card, and at its boost value, it's a 3, so that's the boost effect. So when I maneuver, I can discard a card from my hand to increase all my movement by the number in there. And they're generally 0, 1, 2, or 3. So I drew the 3. So this thing attacks for 7. He only has 2 defense, so yeah, these raptors can be really strong. So he's down to 4 already. And this has an after combat. Place the Martian Invader in a space bordering the highest numbered empty field. Highest numbered empty field. So he's going to come over here. Kind of hard to see on the camera, but 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all numbered here. There's some numbers. I think the 7 is easy for people to see. It's a little shiny over here. So there's an 8 here, and I could put him in any space adjacent to that. So we'll put him there. All right, I did my 2 actions, so that is it for me. So next up is going to be this card, which is the Martian Invasion. All heroes and sidekicks adjacent to an occupied field take 1 damage. There aren't any, so what do I do? If no fighter took damage, add an alien token to the lowest numbered empty field. So here's the 1, and we put a token there. All right, and that's going to do something now. So we've completed the round, so now we're going to go through all of the end-of-round abilities on these cards. These 2 don't have any. Loveland Frog. Deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to the frog. There's none. Add a Loveland Frog Strikes Again initiative card to the initiative deck before we reshuffle. So here's another one. So sorry, I almost got that wrong. I was like, I don't think this is how this works. Advance the threat marker a number of spaces equal to 1 plus the number of occupied fields. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So that threat value is now 2. If it gets to here, then that's when we're going to flip one of those tokens. So that's kind of the way it works. My dog is right here. Hi, dog. All right. Nope, you can't come up right now. All right, then we're going to take all these and shuffle them up. So this could be relatively quick. We'll have to see. There are ways to increase the difficulty too, so I'll try to show you some of those things. Maybe I can play some more of this at some point. Quick one for today. All right, Martian Invasion. All heroes and sidekicks adjacent to an occupied field. So this field is here. It's this one, so we're going to take 1 damage down to 6. All right, next one. Loveland Frog is going to take a turn and move 3. 1, 2. That is the closest there. If they can't move, if they're not close enough within their movement, then they increase the threat by 1 instead. So the Loveland Frog is going to attack here. We don't have much for defense. We're just going to take this one. He's going to hit us for 2. So it is going to be this low swooping raptor here is going to take 2. And then after combat, place the Loveland Frog in the closest empty starting space, then deal 1 damage. So, oh, I didn't actually realize that one was there. I made a mistake earlier. No, I think I moved it up, right? So this one is going to take 1 damage and go down to 5. I do find the more fighters you add, the harder it gets. It's a little easier in solo, but I'll show you afterwards some of the other things that you can play with. And I have tons of boxes of this game, so... I was actually trying to find my Bruce Lee, and I don't know where it is. But I have the Bruce Lee one, but I don't know where I put it. I think it fell behind one of these, so I have to pull the stuff out of the shelves. So I was going to play with Bruce Lee. I thought that'd be fun. Kind of the promo one that came out. All right. Martian Invader takes a turn. So it moves 2 to here, or 3 to there, so it's going to move to here. When it moves there, yeah, this is going to be kind of easy with these raptors, huh? It's going to attack this one, which is this one here that has 7 health. So you know what? We're just going to take it. Ooh, Nullification Beam. So it would get a bonus if we had that matching token, but we don't. So it's going to take 4 damage. That's going to bring this one down to 3 health. And Place an alien in each field bordering the Martian invader's space. So we're going to put one in 4 here, so that can start to mess with us a little bit. Player 1. Well, you know what? I think we might be able to take care of this once and for all. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Man. And we will play Eviscerate, which is a 5, 6, 7. He will draw a 1 after combat, so 7 minus 1. That is a dead Martian invader. Let me double check, because that went quick, that I don't have to defeat both, but I'm pretty sure, like the regular game, you don't have to defeat the sidekicks. Okay, well, I don't have necessarily enough. I know it's a very fast game to play. You know what? Maybe I can just play on the other side. Let's see if we can do it. And that way I can show you some of those things, and we'll see if Mothman is any harder. So, yeah, these work there. It does say that depending on the matchups, the games can be harder or easier. I also think solo's a little bit easier. So one of the things the game does, but what I like showing you is that it wasn't a big, long, complex game, right? Like, it was pretty simple and straightforward. And honestly, if you play a 2-player match, it is 15 minutes. Now, that probably took me 12 minutes. I mean, it was very short. But that's one of the things that I want you to see. I guess I've been on for 18 minutes, so it might have been a little longer with explanation. But there's a pile of amazing event cards, and you can add, it says 1, 2, or 3 of these, but however many you add. So player effects cannot cause an enemy to leave its space. So rooted to the earth. Unexpected eclipse. At the start of each round, advance the threat marker 1 space. We didn't push that at all. That's what kind of made it feel silly. I killed him on the second turn. But it's definitely something that can happen. And the Raptors are very strong. I was able to surround him, and they can just deal a lot of damage fast. So that was part of it. But we'll try. I'm going to see what I have for timing. I've got to stop at 1:30. But I just played that game very fast. So let's see what we can do and try Mothman on the other side. I think we'll stick with the Loveland Frog just to give me less to have to shuffle here. But I will change my character a bit. So, all right, Martian Invader is going back, and everything fits nicely in the box. Here, as you can see, it's very easy to put away, holds everything, and I know they have some solutions for other things. You know what? We'll try to make it a little harder on ourselves, so we'll give ourselves one of these things for the Mothman. They smell blood. Whenever there's a tie for who the enemy attacks, it always chooses the target with the lowest health. All right, so we can't choose anymore. We've got to do it that way. We'll take this Loveland Frog out here, and the Martian ones we're going to add in. So just so you know, the other characters that you can fight, the sidekicks here, there's a Tarantula, there's the Jersey Devil, the Skunk Ape, the Blob, and an Ant Queen. So those are the other things that you could possibly have to face as well. Those cards will store nicely in there. 2. All right, we got our cards here and our dials. Here's Mothman. We'll take the Mothman thing here out. Relatively fast to set up. It's not super fast. Here's Mothman's deck. We'll take this and put this one back. We're going to stick with the Loveland Frog just so I don't have to go find all of that stuff. But yeah, you can see everything fits in here really nicely. Easy to work with. I must have cheated. That's why I won. I was wondering, I was like, do I have to defeat both of these? I've never really done. I usually try to take out that sidekick first and then go for the boss. And that time, it was kind of easy to just do it that way. So, I know one thing I need is those bridges. Where are those bridges? One of these has the bridges. Is it you? Yep. All right. So this is all about these bridges being attacked. And we have to defend here. All right, so you can see our threat track is a little bit longer. To set up Mothman, we're going to take these 4 bridges, shuffle them up, and there's bridge spaces right here, which create paths in between. By the way, you can play the regular versus game on these maps if you want to. They're kind of large for 2-player, but you can play the game with 3 and 4 as well. We'll shuffle up our initiative cards here. Let's start in a different corner. So we'll start down here, so we'll put this one over here. Not as close to us. There is the Martian. And we don't need these. Might as well be neat about it as I put everything back. All right, and we'll put our Raptors away. And I will let people pick. Do you want to see Robin Hood or Bigfoot? So it's your choice. Robin Hood or Bigfoot is what I'm going to take out of this set in a second. So people can let me know there if you're watching which one you want to see me play. Which sounds more interesting, Robin Hood or Bigfoot? Oh, we may get 0 votes on that. Anybody have an opinion, Robin Hood or Bigfoot? I bet people watching afterward are going, oh my gosh, I have an opinion, but I'm not live. I've done that before where I comment like in real time on a video that I'm watching afterward that's not live. Robin Hood. Sounds good. Thank you, Spartan. All right, yeah, so this is how these come, in case you haven't seen these. I think this might be one that they no longer print. They've got so many of them. So you get a small board for fighting with 2 players, and it's double-sided. So there's kind of a Sherwood forest, as well as like regular forest. What is this? The Yukon area. Hey, Yukon. U-C-O-N. Oh, no, it's Y-U-K-O-N. All right, so we're going to fight with Robin Hood here. So Robin Hood has his merry men as his sidekicks, so we can show off sidekicks here as well. Actually, the first video we ever did on the channel was Larry and I playing Unmatched. So there you go. It's been around since the start. No, it's great. Thank you. I appreciate it, Spartan. All right, so we are going to have these merry men. After you attack, you may move your attacking fighter up to 2 spaces. These are called outlaws, I guess. And I have 4 of them. I guess I better just quick double check that they all start on the board. So I'm going to start over here, as I said. Then we're going to take the lowest numbered bridge, so it's on the board here, not on the token. So this is bridge 1, and we're going to put a token on it, which escapes me what the name of that token is. Let's see if there's anything I need to know for Robin Hood. No, so those are just going to start in his area. I'm going to call them merry men, but I guess they're technically outlaws. So we'll put them out there. I believe they can come back, like they're popping into the forest. I don't think there's too much to know otherwise here. So we'll just keep those. All right. And then, what is the name of those little tokens? I can call it the right thing. A doom token. All right, so it's got red eyes instead of green eyes. That is a doom token. So that's going to increase our threat. Let's see how we do. So we start with 13. Each of these just have 1 health, so they will die. A lot simpler. And we have shuffled, and we will go. So we have to remember that whenever there's a tie for who the enemy attacks, it chooses the target with the lowest health. I wonder if that's going to actually be a help to me. All right, so we've got these cards. We've got a lot of attacking. Other thing Robin Hood has is range, so we can now attack. Range also works adjacent. You can always hit something that's adjacent to you, but I can attack anything that's on the same colored space. So standing on a space like this that has 3 colors makes my range character a lot more powerful. I have a lot more range to things I can see. So typically standing on top of a hill, as I would be here. All right, this is shuffled up, so away we go. Mothman. So Mothman is going to move towards the nearest fighter, which is here, and attack. I don't have anything to defend. Oh, these are my outlaws. Nope, these are attacking, so bye-bye. He gets attacked for 3 immediately. If the printed value of the opponent's card is 4 or higher, ignore it, so that doesn't happen. A Visage of Impending Doom. I should be saying these names. So he's going to take 3 damage. He's gone. After combat, if Mothman won the combat, add a Doom token to each bridge. Wow. All right. So that's going to be an issue. Okay, next up is the Loveland Frog, who's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So no way to get to any fighters, so instead it's just going to increase threat by 1. All right, and last up, surprise, it's us. All right, so like I said, if I can get to here, but my movement's only 2. However, I could stay here and then not have an issue. So these cards are going to be cancel effects, ignore its defense values. I can kind of do a guaranteed 2. It's funny that enemy is right on top of me, like before. Your opponent discards a random card, adds boost. Very similar to what I had before. All right, so we'll maneuver. We're going to move these ones up. 1, 2. We'll move me to here. 1, 2. So with these bridges, if I move adjacent to a bridge, I can discard a card, a number of cards, and if I do, I get rid of tokens equal to that number, plus I can do the effect on here. A player draws until they have 4 cards. So I could use that to my advantage. My goodness, I have a lot of attacks. All right, 1, 2. I can come over this bridge to here. Well, let's play one of those attacks. So a Hunter's Eye is going to be for 5 on Mothman. I'm standing on green. Mothman's standing on green. So 5. It's a 0, so I'm going to deal 5 damage. Boy, I'm making this game look easy, huh? Maybe I should be playing with 3 of them. I do think the more players you add, the more tricky it gets. Getting damage on with characters that can deal damage can be kind of simple. I suppose it's the rush strategy, but it's what's working. All right, so this is good to see, though. This is the Mothman, a hoax. Whenever this card is put in Mothman's discard pile, shuffle it and its discard pile back in, and the effect can't be canceled. So there's always going to be a reset at some point that's on a 0. So at least you know at some point they're going to play a card where they're not going to be able to defend or deal you any damage. So that's kind of nice. And it will reset everything. All right, so we've got that. That ends our turn. So end of the round. Advance the threat marker a number of spaces equal to 1 plus the number of Doom tokens on the lowest number bridge. So there's 2 there. So that's going to go up 3. When this gets to the top, we destroy the lowest bridge. We suffer these 2 effects. The next bridge will be these 2, so these 2 share an effect. And when all 4 bridges are destroyed, Mothman wins. So that's kind of our timer. All right, away we go. I haven't been having it this easy, but seems a little easier. Oh, we have to shuffle a card for the Loveland Frog in. So let's see if we draw ours right off the bat. This could be over fast. It is Mothman, so he will attack here. I don't have any defensive cards, so we're just taking the hit. 4 damage. After combat, deal 1 damage to each adjacent opposing fighter. For each fighter damaged this way, add a Doom token to the lowest numbered bridge. Unimaginable terror, so we didn't deal any damage to any of them. Next up is us. Man, do we just go for it? I think so. There's a lot for outlaws here. Well, let's see what happens if we play this Hunter's Eye 5. He's going to defend for 3, so he's going to take 2. He's down to 3. And then after combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing adjacent opposing fighter. So again, same card, won't happen. Well, my goodness. I guess it's kind of silly, but I did say I have to go anyway, so let's try it. Ambush. Can fight with any. Oh, I should have distinguished. So these say Robin Hood on them. These say Outlaw. Some say any, and that's who can use the card. All right, so we do 2 damage. He's going to draw. And he's going to defend 1. Immediately, if the printed value of the opponent's card is 4 or higher, ignore its value, so we won't do that. Your opponent discards 1 random card, and we add its boost value. So it is a 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. All right. So I suppose I've shown that some of these... So Robin Hood also similarly just had a lot of damage on him. We're able to deal a lot of damage there. I haven't found that to be the most effective. Usually they're running around. These things are... The threat's increasing. These negative effects make you discard cards, but... yeah, I could try it two-handed for sure at some point just to see, but... I guess the 10 damage was a little bit easier. I suppose I'll double-check, but I'm pretty sure the setup... I played it a bunch. Somebody's going to come on here and be like, no! Set the villain's starting health dial based on the players. 10 health per player. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a matter, I think, solo, if you have certain characters, like they said, so we should put more of these in. Let's see if I have a minute here. What if I had done the 3, like they said? What if I had this one and this one? What would we be looking at? All minions have a move value of 5. All right, so that would have come over to attack. Maybe cause an issue. After you attack, move your attacking fighter up to 2 spaces. Oh, that's important. At the start of each round, advance the threat marker 1 space. That wouldn't have mattered. It would have been there. So yeah, we were really just in good shape. But it's how it goes. I wouldn't take these solo games to be like, oh, that's the experience, and it's going to be simple. But I do find the more fighters you add, the more damage you have to do, so you decrease some of that as well. So there is that. Cool. Well, that is Unmatched Adventures. I imagine there'll be more of these. This is Tales to Amaze, which should be available in retail now, so you can check it out and you can play with your other Unmatched. Honestly, if you haven't played Unmatched, it's so good. There's lots of Marvel ones too if you like the Marvel characters instead. I haven't actually acquired the Marvel characters, but you can get a box. Do these 2-player box still exist? There's some of these. I can't remember what's in and out of print at the moment. There's a Houdini and a Genie one. So you can start with something like this. It's very small. These boxes probably run $20 to $25. They're probably $25. You get the board. You get 2 fighters. You can try the game out, see if you enjoy it. Or you can go straight to this because this has the regular rules. You can take these 4 fighters on these boards and play the verse game without using Mothman, whom I clearly took down very quickly. So you can just buy this box and you'll have plenty to play with, honestly. And then as you add some of these, you just have more stuff to work with depending on what you're in. There's Buffy. Cobble and Fog is fantastic, which is Sherlock Holmes, Invisible Man, and a bunch of others kind of from the whole London area. And there's so many boxes of it at this point. So check it out. This was the co-op version of it that just came out. And it's really neat because it's completely interchangeable. There's nothing you have to do. You just play it. In fact, like I said, you could buy the box and the rules for the regular game are in this box. So it's just a great value. Restoration's done a great job, and the miniatures just have the wash on them, so if you're not into painting, you don't have to worry about that. If you're into painting, they're ready to go to be painted, so you can do that. Really neat. Cool, well, that was quick. Probably play some Champions this weekend. I'm probably thinking Sunday, so we'll try to get a game together with a bunch of people on here and whatnot, but tonight I am off to pick up my daughter and see the lights in town. We're going to go to the kind of the holiday lights that are there as well, and something tomorrow night, so we'll see how everything goes. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. That was a very quick stream, but I appreciate everybody for being here. If you watched afterward, I appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if there's something you saw or you had a question on. Apologies if I made a mistake. I don't think I did. I think it was just a little bit easier today. But that's okay. We got to show off the game, which was the key, and got to play too. So, thanks, everybody, for watching. My name is the Brandt, and until next time, I hope you step into the portal. Have a great day.